Pastor Jeannie and her legs in the air. And she is stretching one more time just to get by. And she says, well, what do you know? There's enough to make one more cake. She takes the cruse of oil and turns it up until every drop runs out. And she says, what do you know? There's enough to make one more cake. I must have miscalculated. I must have had enough. Let me check. Yep, it's gone. Yeah, that's it. Lord, thank you that I didn't figure the ingredients right. I had enough for two. And she cooks as fast as she can and takes that steaming cake into that area where Elijah's drinking his water and eating his cake. And she sets that cake down in front of her son, and he dives in and begins to enjoy the cake. And she's sitting there with nothing. And in a minute, Elijah looks at her and says, listen, woman, are you not hungry? She said, I'm starving to death. And something begins to shift in the atmosphere. He says, then get up and go back into that kitchen and make yourself a cake. And in her mind, she's thinking, I've double checked and I know there's nothing there. But faith begins to rise in the most difficult of situations. Spirits begin to take on a spiritual rise, and she says, at the sake of the prophet's word, let me go and just check. And she walks back into the kitchen with her legs, Pastor Jeannie, way up in the air. She leans down farther than she ever has. And she says, well, what do you know? There's enough in the barrel to make one more cake. And she cooked as fast as she could, made her cake, and went in and sat with the prophet and ate with him. And the Bible says, and she and he and her house did eat many days, and the barrel of meal wasted not. When she got up the next morning, she didn't have to wait on the prophet to say, are you hungry? She went and dove in, stretched over the barrel with her legs up in the air, and said, yep, there's enough in there to make breakfast for my son. At lunch, she came back and said, yep, there's enough in there to have lunch today. She came back in the evening and said, yep, there's enough. Listen, when they got hungry in the middle of the day and just wanted a snack, she went in and said, hey, there's enough to make what?